It may be more like a week ago, but are you already aware of the consequences for Byron and Gibbs after the penalties from NASCAR? Have you heard about the bombshell that NASCAR just dropped? On September 27, NASCAR established some new guidelines for how it will control the conduct of drivers while they are on the track in the future. Byron and Ty Gibbs were penalized for their driving during the 500-mile NASCAR Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway.
We all thought Byron has been fined $50,000 and the team has been hit with a loss of 25 driver and owner points. As a result, Ty Gibbs was fined $75,000 and the team has lost 25.
What did they were penalized? Want to know everything in depth? If yes, then NASCAR Zone is here for you. In response to the actions taken by Byron and Ty Gibbs during the NASCAR Cup Series race in Texas, NASCAR has announced that both drivers will receive point deductions and fines. NASCAR dropped hints that something like this might occur, and on Tuesday afternoon, officials handed out two significant penalties for rough driving. Byron and Ty Gibbs have docked points for their roles in separate incidents that occurred during the Cup Series race that took place at Texas Motor Speedway. As a result of knocking Denny Hamlin out of position during a late race caution period in Sunday's Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 500, Byron has assessed a penalty that resulted in a loss of 25 points in both the driver and team owner standings. This is a punishment that carries significant playoff implications. In addition, he was given a fine of $50,000. What do you think of the penalties that were imposed on Gibbs and Byron? Let us know in the comments below. And if you find our video interesting, then do subscribe to our channel. Before the penalty, Byron was in third place in the Cup Series playoffs and had a cushion of 17 points over the line that indicated elimination. Gibbs, who was driving for 23-11, racing in place of the injured Kurt Busch, and making his 10th start in the Cup Series, was penalized $75,000 after colliding with the number 42 Petty GMS Chevrolet driven by Ty Dillon on pit road. This aggressive contact occurred very close to pit crew members, as well as NASCAR officials who were working in a nearby pit stall. The 19-year-old Gibbs did not receive a points penalty because he competes regularly in the Xfinity Series and does not collect points in the Cup Series. However, his number 23 Toyota team was docked 25 points in the owner's standings. Because of this, the fact that he was moved to the number 23 team rather than the number 45 team is significant. The number 45 team is still competing for the owner's championship, and this would have been a significant disadvantage for that group. Gibbs has been given a penalty for unsafe driving on pit road twice this year, making it the total number of times he has been penalized. After making contact with Sam Mayer's vehicle in the pits following an Xfinity Series race at Martinsville in April, he was issued a fine in the amount of $15,000. The retaliation that was taken led to a fight between the two drivers after the race was over. Since Gibbs has been penalized twice this year for unsafe driving, what do you think about the steps that he needs to take? Let us know in the comments below. And if you find our video interesting, then do subscribe to our channel. We don't have a problem with Gibbs having to pay the fine because his behavior was both risky and hazardous. The fact that Byron was put in dock after the race was over is something that bothers me. NASCAR officials did not penalize Byron for sending Denny Hamlin's Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota into a spin during the 500-mile race because their spotters did not see the number 24 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet send Hamlin's number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota into a spin during yellow flag conditions in retaliation for earlier contact. Byron was racing in the number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Hamlin did not return to his original starting position, which resulted in him finishing in 10th place. Byron finished 7th overall. That was a significant penalty for Hamlin, who should not have been penalized in the first place due to the infraction that he committed. NASCAR has acknowledged that fact. They also admitted that a penalty might be imposed on Byron at a later time. Scott Miller, Senior Vice President of Competition, when addressing the situation involving Byron and Hamlin, said that he feels obligated to tell you the truth.
So I'll have to be honest with you, Bob, when we were in the tower, we were paying more attention to the actual cause of the caution up there and dispatching our equipment. The William Byron, Denny Hamlin thing, we had no eyes on. We saw Denny go through the grass, and by the time we got to a replay that showed the incident well enough to do anything to it, we'd gone back to green, but I'm not sure that that issue is completely resolved as of yet. So we'll be looking at that when we get back to work.
What do you think of the comment said by Scott Miller regarding Gibbs and Byron? Let us know in the comments below. And if you find our video interesting, then do subscribe to our channel.
If we had seen that good enough to react to it real time, which we should have, like no excuse there, there would probably have been two courses of action. One would have been to put Hamlin back where he was, or the other would be to have made Williams start in the back. So we don't have the cameras and the monitors that we've got. We dedicate them mostly to officiating and seeing like our safety vehicles and how to dispatch them and all that. And by the time we put all those cameras up, we don't have room for all of the in-car cameras to be monitored.
He is not entirely confident that this problem has been solved to everyone's satisfaction just yet. When they get back to the office, they will investigate that further. It bothers me that a penalty of this severity can be assessed after the race has already been completed. We would have preferred to see NASCAR do something during the race that was analogous to what F1 or IndyCar did in response to the incident being under review, so that they could black flag Byron later. However, doing so several days later is not something that we believe is appropriate. He was deserving of a penalty, and he was deserving of the penalty that he received. However, it should have been handed down on Sunday. It is also a penalty that is harsher than the one that he would have received if he had been penalized on Sunday, because losing 25 points is equivalent to losing 25 positions on the track. If he had been sent to the back of the pack, he wouldn't have been any further back than the middle of the 20s, and he would have had time to make up ground. We understand that NASCAR is trying to convey something with this rule, but we believe that it is unethical to miss a call during a race and then make up for it afterward. It's too bad that this happened because 2311 Racing didn't do anything to deserve the points deduction they got. In fact, Gibbs' actions could have hurt the crewmen themselves, depending on how and when the car hit the pit road. I'm glad that NASCAR has set a clear example for the future, but I'm not sure that the young person at the center of it all really learned anything from it. What do you think about precautions that Gibbs and Byron need to take? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today. Hope you all liked our video. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more of our incredible videos. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.